Step into the darkness where reality blurs and nightmares come alive. Sarah and I had always dreamed of starting a family, but fate had other plans for us. Despite years of trying, countless doctor's appointments, and the emotional roller coaster of fertility treatments, we remained childless. Each negative pregnancy test felt like a dagger through our hearts, a painful reminder of the one thing we desired most but could not have. It was on one of those dark and stormy nights, when hope seemed lost and despair threatened to consume us, that we first encountered Damien. We had been driving home from yet another disappointing doctor's appointment, the rain pounding against the windshield like tears from the heavens, when we spotted him standing alone by the side of the road. At first, we thought he was just a trick of the light, a figment of our weary imaginations brought on by exhaustion and grief. But as we drew closer, we realized that he was very much real, a child, no older than 5 or 6, standing in the pouring rain without so much as an umbrella to shield him from the storm. Despite our better judgment, we stopped the car and approached him cautiously, our hearts pounding in our chests with a mixture of fear and curiosity. The child looked up at us with eyes that seemed to see straight into our souls, and in that moment, we knew that our lives would never be the same again. "I am Damien," he said simply, his voice carrying an otherworldly weight that sent shivers down our spines. "And I have been waiting for you." Despite the warning bells ringing in the back of our minds, Sarah and I felt an inexplicable pull towards Damien, a magnetic force that drew us to him like moths to a flame. And so, despite our initial misgivings, we made the decision to take him into our home, convinced that we could provide him with the love and stability he so desperately needed. The adoption process was surprisingly swift, as if the universe itself were conspiring to bring Damien into our lives. Within days, he had become a permanent fixture in our home, his presence filling the empty spaces that had haunted us for so long. At first, everything seemed normal. Damien was a quiet and reserved child, with a penchant for solitude that we attributed to his troubled past. But as the days turned into weeks, we began to notice strange occurrences that we couldn't explain. Objects would move of their own accord, strange shadows would flicker in the corners of our vision, and we would wake in the night to find Damien standing over us, his eyes glowing with an unearthly light. At first, we brushed off these incidents as mere coincidences, but as they grew more frequent and more sinister, we knew that something was terribly wrong. Determined to uncover the truth of Damien's origins, Sarah and I delved into the murky world of demonology, seeking answers in ancient texts and forbidden rituals. What we discovered chilled us to the bone. Damien was not human at all, but a demon in disguise, sent to wreak havoc upon our world. Armed with newfound knowledge and a sense of desperation, Sarah and I prepared to confront the demon child that had invaded our lives. But Damien was not so easily defeated, and as we confronted him in the dead of night, we found ourselves locked in a battle for our very souls. In a climactic showdown that shook the foundations of our reality, Sarah and I faced off against Damien in a battle of wills and wits. But as the dust settled and the smoke cleared, we realized that the demon child had one final trick up his sleeve, a fate worse than death itself. As we pick up the pieces of our shattered lives, Sarah and I are left to wonder, was Damien truly defeated, or does his malevolent presence still linger, waiting to strike when we least expect it? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, our lives will never be the same again. To those who may encounter a child like Damien in their own lives, I offer this warning: beware the darkness that lurks within the hearts of men, for it is a darkness that can consume us all if we are not careful. Trust not in appearances, for evil often wears the mask of innocence, and the consequences of our actions may be more terrible than we can ever imagine.